All right, what it do, y'all? What's good, beautiful people? How are y'all doing today? We are about to take a look at season 5 patch notes of Overwatch. So let's see what all they have changed so far. General updates challenges. Lifeweaver unlocked challenges added. Lifeweaver can now be unlocked by completing all the challenges. This is due to him no longer being available in the battle pass. We don't care about all of that stuff. On fire. Fire returns to highlight your incredible plays with new features, new state, blazing. What's better than being on fire? Being even more on fire. A team's most exceptional playmakers will now begin blazing. Blazing cannot be maintained as easily as regular fire, so you'll need to outstanding play to keep on the heat. Reigniting visuals and sound effects. Fire returns to the hero portrait and the scoreboard. This is from Overwatch 1, right? With the new animation. Fire makes its debut in the kill feed as well. That's interesting. So you'll know who the fuck is who is just popping off. I guarantee like 50% of the games is just going to be Genji. and Reapers, like killing enemies that are on fire, grants fire, fans the fire, fan the flames. The fire spread to more than just the Genji players. See? Called it. Didn't even have to read it to know Genji. Beyond elimination damage, fire comes from mitigated damage, saves, healing, assists, capturing / contesting objectives. Boosted damage and crowd control. Boosted damage, you mean Mercy? You should have just typed Mercy right here. Pay attention to heroes team on fire and help them to increase your fire score. Matchmaking. Hopefully this is improvements. Matchmaking improvements. Added new matchmaker functionality that should create matches with a narrow range of player skills. The initial tuning of the system at the start of the season will not be aggressive, but we'll be making continual tuning changes throughout the season. The matchmaker now prioritizes placing similar groups with wide skill ranges into the same match, which means solo players will see a lower chance of being placed in those matches. This, hopefully it's better, because if I remember correctly, at the start of season 4, a lot of people complaining about like damn, I've been playing so many other ranked games. Diamond players being up there and master lobbies, or high plat being up there and master lobbies and stuff like that. So I guess they're closing the gap a little bit between solo play. And even with solo play, like it originally the matchmaking system was supposed to put even it out. So if the tank was gold, the other tank on the enemy team would be gold. And in this season, it just felt like RNG completely. So hopefully this is kind of what we've been waiting on, is for the matchmaking system to be a little bit better and to honestly help solo queue experience feel a lot better and not feel like you're the only person on your team with brains. So we will see what this is. Matchmaking bug fixes. Address some issues with backfield. We don't care about quickly. Fix an issue with the matchmaker sometimes initialize new players' competitive MMRs to value that did not reflect their skill. Players continue to adjust to the accurate MMRs as they continue to play. Is this to stop smurfing? All right. Free-for-all player skill rating bugs. We noticed this is... Wait. We recently know that major issues with matchmaking updated initial player skill in our free-for-all. Oh, this is... Okay. All right. We don't care. All right. Competitive play updates. Ranked inactivity changes. Players that did not play any matches during the previous competitive seasons will become inactive. Inactive players do not have a visible skill tier and division. Each role in role queue can become inactive separately, while in open queue, a player only has one rank and that can become inactive. Once an active player returns and achieves a competitive update after winning 5 games, the skill tier and division will become visible again. This is great because there has been a lot of times where like I would join like a group and somebody be like, shit man, I ain't played like since season 3 or 2 or something like that, and they are be like plat or something like that and they play like silver. Yo, unranked people can land in diamond and high play easily because MMR was kept track of during quick plays so they could get carried. See, that's what I thought how it was working too. I was just streaming. So hopefully, I mean, this should be good because now people who don't play for seasons, they don't keep their rank. They have to do placements essentially. That's what that means. Competitive Mr. Heroes, competitive Mr. Returns for an entire season of random action hero. This is actually fun. I might go back to doing this too. Competitive Bug Fixes improved how the matchmaker computes in its initial skill estimation, aka MMR, for player queuing for their first competitive game. Okay. So let's get into the hero update. Hero updates. Jungle Queen, Rampage, Ultimate cost increased by 15%. This was originally announced that she was getting her ult too fast. So now 15% isn't too much. Commanding Shout, temporary health reduced from 200 to 150. So it got a 50 nerf. Developer comment. The last round of Jungle Queen changes increased both her sustained because Jungle Queen wasn't dying. You needed an Ana and or a Zen to put a Jungle Queen down, because she would fight the whole team and heal up, especially if she had a good healer on her pocketing her. Junker Queens were not dying. She was sitting, just beating up the team crazily. Hence, she ends up staying alive in the fight longer, which was intent, but naturally her ultimate charge much more quickly on average as a result. The passive General Rush healing became more potent, has been interesting for gameplay, as it's tied to landing her ability to bring her survivability more in line with shifting some of the power out of the Commanding Shout temporary help game for Junker Queen herself. She's still going to be 100% viable as a character. Like, that's just the shout. They didn't even adjust what she was getting health from, like Carnage and all of that. So, yeah, Junker Queen is still gonna still be a strong pick. Honestly, like, I truly doubt you really feel and see any difference to any of this. She's still gonna walk teams down. Okay, so we got a Roadhog change here. Now, amplifies healing received by 50% for 2.5 seconds after finishing take a breath. These don't play Roadhog. Just don't. There's still no point in playing Roadhog. Yes, you can do that, but the moment you see a Roadhog like hit the vape, he gets anti, and then he gets slept, and then he gets anti, and he's still going to die. What healing are you possibly gonna do to him? I mean, you know, like they maybe, but I don't think this is still good enough for Roadhog. Like I don't think this is the change Roadhog needs since his initial nerfs. But I think he gets a complete. He's supposed to get a rework season 6 or 7, one of the future seasons. We should take. We like Roadhog to be even more sturdier, and he's a mobile tank with minor damage blocking ability. Self-sustainability is already quite powerful when alone. So this is more of a team-oriented change. Take a breath, briefly increases healing received while able to support heroes on Hog team to help him recover more quickly. I don't know. Like, I still feel like just Ana, just this. If the team does if you don't pick Ana, this is an even more reason to pick Ana against Roadhog, because you're not going to kill him. If the Roadhog is already stumping your team, and then you don't pick Roadhog, and now he gets more healing off of it, so he can fight until like his health goes down, and then he pops it, and then his healers heal him all the way back up, and then he just walks around and jump. Yeah, so like you at this point you have no choice but to make this pick and pick on, because Roadhog might not die. Why he doesn't do anything though at the same time. But I still don't think that this makes Roadhog a more viable pick. I just think when he's walking the lobby, you have to pick on him because he might get away with shitty shit. So, Cassidy, magnetic grenade change. Here we go. No longer has maximum projectile travel range of 10 meters. The projectile now magnetizes towards an enemy target from 1.5 meters away and chases them for up to 1 second. So he has to be closer to land the nade. Impact damage increased from 0 to 10. Explosive damage reduced to 120 to 70. Stuck targets now have the movement slowed by 30%. Stuck targets now affected by a hinder status effect, interrupting preventing movement abilities from being activated. This is going to be quite interesting, honestly, because they knocked the damage down because it was magnetic grenade into one tap because it did 120, and then the headshot was an instant kill, but it does 80 damage total because of the impact damage on it, and then it slows you. And then so this, everybody already complained about it. The only difference is you gotta I guess we have to see really how close Cassidy is. He ain't gonna be throwing that across the way anymore. So So, you know, he got to be a little bit closer, but I still think this is going to make, you know, for people that get up on Cassidy, he's going to probably start thinking twice if they land this, because it's going to slow you. Then you can't interrupt and prevent movement ability, so you can't even move out of this. So even in fights and stuff like that, people with escapes like Reaper come in, he's dead. Reaper comes in now, or Genji's, they dive. Tracer. Any of these characters, they come up on the line, and you got a Cassidy, more than likely they should be dead. But wait, does it? Oh, so the overall goals for magnetic grenades are to shift its use from purely damage into more of utility, and change the deployment behavior from a close range lock on to more of an aim projectile that magnetizes if it gets close to an enemy target. The previous stuck banner text alerts confused tracer pulse bomb message. So this mobility lock and status effect is more referred to as hindered. Interesting. Okay, so we got a Hanzo change here. Impact sound effect now plays for enemies. Okay. Visual effect is now briefly visible to enemies. Well, it is the sonic arrows. Okay, you hear the sound and then you can visually change it. Okay. Storm arrow, maximum damage reduced from 125. So it got reduced by 5. Okay. The storm bow damage adjustment is a small but significant change so that the heroes with 250 health won't be eliminated with 1 critical damage shot. We've also updated the sound and visual for when sonic arrow initially lands to give nearby enemies more awareness that the ability was used. That's the sonar one, right? Okay, so we got this. Oh, we got these main changes right here. Let's go. All right, her gun damage per second reduced from 100 to 55. That's cut in half. Primary slow is no longer always 40% and now scales from 30 to 50%. Primary fire impacts now build up to a slowing effect that sticks to the enemy target for 1.5 seconds and slows them for 75%. God damn. Secondary fire impacts can now detonate this new slow effect, dealing an additional 40 damage. Ooh! Ooh! And landing headshots with Bay is already so nasty. I'm excited to see how these changes to May play out. I'm really excited. Because if you hit him with the slow just enough, and then even if you pop, ooh, that's gonna hurt. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. This is gonna be an interesting change for me. This set of changes is intended to bring back some of the gameplay and feeling May's primary fire used to have previously, though without the hard crowd control of a full free stunt. So this is gonna be quite interesting. Because she was already like the secondary tank walking up on the team, slowing and dealing like insane damage and stuff like that, and walling, healing, and then ulting. So now with having a slow on top of like having a detonate of 40 damage, it'd be pretty fucking interesting. I doubt the damage change on it like affects May too much, because all the rest of this is nice. So we get an extra 10% on the slow. And then it builds up to 75%. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how she feels with these changes. That's a W May moment there. Okay, Reaper Ray form can no longer be activated while affected by mobility locking effects, magnetic grenade, steel trap, graviton. What the fuck is that? That's Sigma, etc. The Reaper and more changes are addressing the inconsistency with their interaction of Wraith form and fade with mobility locking effects such as Junker Train Check, Sigma's gravitational plug, Zara's. So he can't no longer fade out of this stuff. Told you, called it. Yep. Reapers and all the rest of them are about to get fucked. They run up on a Cassidy. They're not disabled similar to Tracer's recall and Sombra's translocate with all abilities that phase out can now move the player's pretty interesting. Still traffic Cassidy. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Tracer plasma pistol spread increased by 15%. Does that make it harder to shoot? We've uncovered a bug that was setting Tracer's maximum weapon spread smaller than intended. We'll be monitoring the results for this one closely, as fixing it will be a more significant impact on our overall. So this is just a bug fix, right? He couldn't fade out of them. He was still stuck. You could just avoid. Oh yeah. For the traps and stuff. Yeah, that's the same for Mora as well. Just stay in the same spot. And outside of Sigmas, because you can if you fade at the end of it, you can avoid taking no damage for more. Okay, so we got Widowmaker. Widowmaker no longer has the one shot, right? Swordmaker, Widow's Kiss, scope shot damage fall off, max min to max range reduced from 70 to 100 to 40 to 60 meters. So she got to play up a little bit closer. Scope shot maximum damage fall off increase from 30 to 50%. These changes to Widow's weapon fall off are intended to reduce her one-shot capabilities on maps with extremely long sight line. That's to stop her from literally holding half of the map like just down by herself to make it impossible to move and play. So now she got to come up a little bit closer, and she can't be like on the opposite side of the map, one-shotting the shit out of everybody from across the map. So this is pretty interesting. And then it also, like with her being a little bit closer, creates room for her to be dove on as well. And Widow players have to be more aware of their positioning now as well. So it's be interesting to see how this plays out. The average range still eliminate 200 health hero at full range is around 50 meters. A fully charged critical shot will still eliminate 150 target regardless of range. Okay. Life Weaver. So hopefully these are some good Life Weaver changes here. General, petal ornaments on his back have had their size and hit volume reduced by 10%. This was one of the biggest issues that was with Life Weaver. Man's was tanky. He was eating some shots he shouldn't have been eating. A healing blossom. Maximum health healing increased from 65 to 75. So we'll see how this kind of plays out. Thorn volley. Damage per projectile increased from 5 to 6. Projectile radius increased from ammo increased from 60 to 70. So now he should be able to deal a little bit more damage. But are these changes still significant enough to really make Life Weaver even more valuable? So pedal platform, walkable area increased by 15%. This is to help you not walk off of it because that happens a lot. Area to trigger lift now shrinks from radius to 2. What? Oh, okay. So this stops you from accidentally walking on it and triggering it. So they decrease the size to stop that from happening. Life grip. Cooldown reduced from 20 to 16 seconds. Now here's the target ally for 50 health. This is actually pretty good. This is good. This is a good buff to life grip. This is actually this is a really good buff for life grip. I don't know about how I feel about these other changes, if the damage and everything will be significant enough. Maybe with more healing coming out on Life Weaver, he can be able to deal a little bit more damage because now he has 2 moves that heal and they reduce cooldown on it, and he heals for 50. So if someone's low and they got 100 health, you pull them, they got back out to 150, charge, pop, now they're back at full health ish. So you know, this should hopefully, you know, give Life Weaver a little you know, but we'll see. I don't know if it would still make him a higher playable character in the top tiers, in the higher ranks, but would honestly have to test him out and see. I feel like mainly with the life grip change is going to create some maybe some better plays on top of it being able to heal. So now it's a really good option. It's a stronger option than it already was before, with the healing added, and then being able to pull heal and then the other healer possibly heal him as well. So it'll be pretty interesting. Ultimate cost increased by 18%. I don't know why his ult was increased. Like, what are we doing here? Life stats have been improving over time, but he's still underperforming. These adjustments are primarily straightforward improvements to nearly every aspect of his kit, outside of his ultimate ability, which received a small cost adjustment for the increased healing. Because he'd get it faster, so it's to compensate with it. The pedal platform area shrinking is a quality of life change intended to help avoid accidentally activated. Yeah, okay, like I thought. All right, so more change is just her fade on not being able to fade out of these abilities. More players are going to have to be more careful on their play, especially with the magnetic grenade change and the steel trap. We're eating those now. Yeah. We got some map updates, lighting, bug fixes, not reading all that. Not reading all of that. All heroes, fix a sleep dot not counting towards the accuracy stat. Don't nobody care about any of that. Okay, is that it? All right, and those are our season 5 patch notes for Overwatch. Overall, I think it's an interesting patch and changes to the characters. I'm really looking. Hopefully, my biggest thing is matchmaking. I hope matchmaking is a little bit better, but we have to wait later on and see how well that goes. This Cassidy change is going to be interesting, and this May change is going to be interesting. Both of them are already high picks, so them having changes to their kit is going to automatically increase their play more and make them more stronger heroes to already like focus and try to counter and shut down, especially with them having different and newer tools coming into the season on top of Junker Queen still being ridiculous. So and the Hanzo and the Widowmaker changes are pretty interesting and good. I feel like Widow should have just been removed from the game, and then everything would have been perfect. That's all it should have said, just taken out of the game. These Lifeweaver changes are pretty interesting. Yo, what's good there, Slim? How you doing, man? These Lifeweaver changes here, hopefully it's enough for him to become a stronger and more competent hero. But overall, we will see. I think these are some good changes for Lifeweaver. I truly do. He was already a heal bot, had the most healing. He couldn't die, anything like that. So increasing his healing on top of giving him healing on life grip is pretty fucking nasty. But it's still something about his just overall play. The damage, I don't think the damage is gonna be any more concerning. But I mean that 1 point and the radius can make a huge difference. So we gonna see. We gonna see.